Have you ever wanted to play Monster Hunter on the PC? Well, now you can. No, not that one. Well, yes, that one, but that's not the one we're talking about. I'm talking about Dauntless, which just launched their Founders Early Access Alpha thing. That is a mouthful. Now, I've never really talked about this, but I love the Monster Hunter games. It's basically like taking the in-game gear grind of an MMO and then making it the entire game. So when I heard about Dauntless, a co-op-centric PC game where you hunt giant monsters, naturally I was excited. And so far, Dauntless does not disappoint. The gist of the game is fairly simple. Hunt giant monster. Use parts of giant monster to make new armor and weapons. Hunt gianter monster. Use parts of gianter monster to make new armor and weapons. Repeat. There's also some gathering involved, but who gives a f***? Let's kill some animals, bitches, and wear their skins! I'm starting to realize this game might be PETA's worst nightmare, although I'm not sure even PETA would care if we killed whatever the f*** this is. You are God's mistake, my friend. Now here's how the game works in a bit more detail. First things first is character creation. Dauntless has a really interesting system here. Pick 2 heroes to be your ancestors, and then slide in between them to control your look. That's pretty unique and cool. I like it. Then after a brief tutorial, you're off to town where you'll do all of your crafting, gathering up quests, and then picking which behemoth you'd like to take down. This is done by looking at a bulletin board in town, selecting a monster, and then choosing whether you'd like to hunt as a party or solo. Dauntless has made the party finder process fairly painless, and it never took me more than about a minute to find a group. Then you're shipped off to the floating island containing your prey, and the hunt begins. If you're hunting with a group, the other 3 players will likely all go their separate ways while looking for the beastie. Along the way, it's smart to gather up all the materials you see: grass, flowers, mushrooms, ore, pelts off of smaller animals, etc. These are going to be used for crafting things like potions and other items, but the main event are these badass motherfuckers. Pretty much every monster comes in 2 varieties: rogue versions and regular versions. Rogue monsters are slightly weaker and smaller than their non-rogue counterparts, and can typically be soloed, though they don't provide as good of rewards. Regular versions tend to be bigger, hit harder, move faster, and generally be a bigger pain in the ass. Each monster is also a little bit different. You have ones that shoot ice, ones that shoot fire, ones that shoot quills, ones that shoot lightning, and yet they all catch on fire, because everything's cooler with fire. I can see the dev meetings now. Okay everyone, we have this guy here and he's pretty cool, but how do we make him cooler? He could catch on fire. That is awesome! Now what about this guy? He could catch on fire? Good God, you're brilliant. What about this guy? He could also catch on fire? He's made of ice. Oh, well, which only makes it cooler! God, fire is so cool! In this universe, all devs are pyromaniacs. You might have also noticed that all of the monsters tend to look like the product of a drunken animal orgy, or at least a terrible sci-fi movie. Let's see here. We've got beaver, chicken, an owl, bear, rhino, tiger, bird? I don't know. Turtle, frog, that one was easy. Lizard, crocodile, fish, pig, porcupine, basilisk. Sci-fi should really be taking notes. Once you defeat a monster, you'll be ranked on how well you did fighting the beast. I'm not entirely sure it makes a difference to anything other than some good old-fashioned, friendly, metaphorical measuring. And for the ladies out there, boob measuring? I'm not a girl, I don't know what you all do. Hey, Wibbles!
What?
Do you girls measure boobs in a contest for superiority? Wibbles? Wibbles! Wibbles! I'll just take her silence as a yes. The beast also drops some crafting materials, and most importantly, a core. Cores contain a number of parts for the animal you just killed, and these are what you're going to need to craft new armor and weapons. So it's then back to the city to turn in your quest, open your cores, and craft some new items so you can take on that next beast. And by that I mean you run the same one over and over again so that you can upgrade your equipment so you don't die taking on the next beast. I have killed a lot of f***ing owlbears. This cycle could get really tiring after a while if you're not used to gear grinding a lot. Thanks, MMOs. Luckily, I've heard from some of my friends that have played a lot more than I have that the beast mechanics change up after hitting a certain point and really mix up the game. That's really cool, but getting to that point over just a weekend is a daunting task. What did I say? Anyway, I don't have that kind of time. I've put about 15 hours into Dauntless over the past few days, and I'm pretty sure I'm not even close to that point. But I've been having a lot of fun regardless, and I'd definitely be more inclined to put in the work to get to that point if I didn't know my character was eventually going to get wiped. That is just a mental block that I cannot get past no matter how much fun I'm having. Overall though, I am looking forward to this. The game will launch at some point, and when it does, it'll be free to play. However, you can buy a Founders Pack and get into earlier test if you want, though I'm not sure I would suggest it until they stop wiping characters. Unless your definition of fun is gear grinding for hours on end only to lose it all and having to start all over again. In which case, more power to you! You have fun killing those innocent animals that are trapped on floating islands. Because you're the real monster. And that was Dauntless. Yeah, I know some of the monsters can fly and they aren't trapped on that island, whatever, let it go. If you're new here, make sure to hit that subscribe button for future videos. If you liked this one, why not watch another video? You can also follow me on Twitter and Facebook for some random thoughts, and make sure to follow me on Twitch for my weekly live streams. And if you want to donate to the channel, you can do so through Patreon like these other amazing people.